Do you want to get rich instantly? Does an endless amount of gold entice you? Well, don't look for it mining in California, because all you'll really find is murder, suicide, sickness, and starvation. This is the California Gold Rush in plain English by Peter, Joshua, Jackson, and Karissa. The U.S. acquired California and other territories from Mexico in 1848 after the Mexican-American War. Some settlers moved there earlier in 1848. This is James Marshall, checking his trail mix at the mill. He found small gold nuggets. Word quickly spread, and pretty soon people across the globe were racing to California in search of their riches. In the first official reporting in 1848, Richard Barnes Mason said, "We reached San Francisco on the 20th and found all or nearly all of its male inhabitants had gone to the mines." 1849, 90,000 people had rushed to California. Oftentimes they searched for gold in streams with a pickaxe, a shovel, and a flat pan. 80% of miners were Americans crossing the trails east or taking the ship routes. But when word reached the Chinese, they also wanted to get rich quick. When the Chinese arrived in California, they were greeted kindly by the Americans. Their distinctive clothing and traditions were instantly respected, but as you'll find out later, it didn't last. Some did strike it rich in California, but not many. About half made enough money to live off of. But as gold started to become more and more scarce, things got bloody. James Marshall Hickens wrote the Miners' 10 Commandments in 1843, saying things like, "Thou shalt not steal a shovel or a pickaxe or a pen from thy fellow miners." Sadly, though, in 1849, California was lawless and lacking gold. Hostility increased. Minor commandments were not followed. Miners stole and murdered for others' gold, and many committed suicide after realizing there was no money to be made and they had no way to return to their families and loved ones. People also starved to death because they could not afford food. American miners also turned on the Chinese, blaming them for the lacking of gold. They attacked and raised taxes to try to get the Chinese from California. But instead of fleeing, they stopped mining and started restaurants, farming, and other businesses. They were often more prosperous than the American miners. Mining camps weren't exactly five-star resorts. Most miners slept in tents, but some slept in the dirt. Disease also spread very quickly. An estimated 21% died from it. People brawling over gold was not uncommon. The cost of living was very high, and eggs could be as much as $10. Because of this, food was often hunted, caught, or found. People were often starving and would eat whatever food they could get their hands on. And they also usually cooked over an open fire, and many camps burnt down because of this. California was not yet a state, and so the punishment for crimes were simple. If a miner committed a small crime, they were whipped. If it was a large crime, there was often a hanging. Most miners left California after realizing there wasn't limitless gold as promised. But many stayed and helped expand California statehood in 1850, helping fulfill manifest destiny, or the belief many Americans thought was the right to settle from the land east coast to west. Many foreigners that had come to the U.S. could not get home, which helped California be a more diverse place even today. The California Gold Rush brought out American spirit and adventure, and the American dream of freedom and opportunity.